Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I am AJ. This is my co-host Noah. Of course, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us fight against that YouTube algorithm. And also, please give us a listen on Spotify. Just search Degenerate Takes, and of course, follow myself on Twitter at Brofict1 and Noah at and underscore Engelbretson. Noah, how you been, man? It's been a while since we talked, and there's been a lot going on.
There is a lot going on. I'm good, AJ.
Well, let's get right into it then, because the thing that I'm kind of really interested in and that really caught my eye this week was the Russell Westbrook trade to the Lakers. Per Shams Charania, Wizards have agreed to trade Russell Westbrook, a 2024 second round pick, a 2028 second round pick to the Los Angeles Lakers for Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, Montrezl Harrell, and a number 22 pick. Sources tell him. Now, Westbrook last season, he averaged 36.4 minutes a game with 22.2 points. And that's kind of been how he's been his entire career. So it's not going up and down. He's staying the same. He's staying consistent. However, this is not the best move for the Lakers, in my opinion. Noah, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, obviously they'll make them better. I just wonder if maybe they could end up with a too many mouths to feed type of situation there.
True.
I also think it would have been more beneficial for them to go after a point guard with more of a shooting game.
Yeah.
To give them a difference in scoring. They're not going to have a lot of 3-point firepower. Westbrook's not that great of a shooter, and man, they're going to have a hard time paying anybody else. I can't imagine that their team's going to be more than like those three plus just a bunch of random scrubs.
Yeah, and that's the truth of it. I mean, let's be real. The people they got rid of, Kyle Kuzma. LeBron has hated Kyle Kuzma since he stepped on the floor. You can see it in his face. Caldwell Pope, he's just kind of been there. Montrezl Harrell hasn't really done much for them whatsoever. And so I do think it's good for the Lakers to get those guys off the books and to move those. I think Dennis Schroeder is probably the next to go. They're kind of over him. And especially with Westbrook, you don't really need him, and he doesn't want to come off the bench. So get rid of him, unload that. But I mean, yeah, I think you're right. Way too many mouths to feed. LeBron is one of the most selfish players in basketball, and it shows all the time. I mean, apparently in Space Jam 2, he didn't want to pass the ball whatsoever. So, I mean, how Bugs got the ball, who knows? But good for him for making him share the ball. But Westbrook's a ball hog. LeBron's a ball hog. AD doesn't want to be the big man. I think this might put the Lakers further back than they want to be.
I don't know. I think they'll be a great regular season team. I think they're gonna have trouble maybe maybe not like a first round. If they have a healthy regular season and finish with a top 3 seed in the West, they'll probably be fine through the first round. But then when they have to play a legitimate contender in the second round of the playoffs, I mean that might be difficult. And key there too, being healthy. I mean, if one of those 3 is injured or out for a decent part of the season or the playoffs when those roll around, they're going to have problems because they're not going to have anybody decent to step up and fill the gap.
Yeah, and I think we even saw this problem in this postseason. AD was out. LeBron had no help whatsoever. Schroeder tried to be that guy and tried to get something going, but he wasted more shots. And, like we like to say here, you could have built at least 7 houses with all the bricks that he had that series against the Suns. So I'm excited because I'm a Suns fan. I'm excited for this move because it's going to blow up. I think this is the worst move they could have made. They should have tried to get Chris Paul because Chris Paul declined his extension. I do think he'll try to get more money from the Suns, a longer term deal like you and I were talking about. And good for him. I want him to be a Sun for the rest of his life. I want him to win us a championship. And yeah, just retire with us.
Yeah, I'm a little confused with that. I don't know. Clearly somebody wasn't between Chris Paul and the Lakers. Somebody didn't want that to happen because if both parties wanted it to happen, I'm pretty damn sure it would have. So I don't know if that's Chris Paul didn't want to go to the Lakers, wanted to stay with the Suns, or if they just really wanted Westbrook instead of him. I don't know. It's hard to
Yeah,
say.
and I mean, there were reports at least that a couple weeks ago, LeBron had Westbrook and AD over to the house, and they had a good big kumbaya and said like, "Oh, we're gonna pass the ball to each other. We're not gonna be ball hogs. I love you. Let's win a championship." That's gonna go out the window when the moment sports media like us starts talking about, well, Westbrook is the reason why the Lakers are winning, not LeBron. LeBron is just kind of sitting in the backseat, and then LeBron's going to be like, yeah, I'll show you. And then he's going to start taking more shots, start hogging the ball. There's going to be some tension there. This is going to blow up in beautiful fashion.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know that it has anything to do with like ball hogging personally. I think the paint's just going to be way too high in traffic with those three.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they really didn't need Russ because AD's like when he's healthy, he runs the paint. And if you're getting AD plus Russ in the paint all the time, it's going to get a little congested. And then
Yeah.
if teams are playing them and realize they don't have to, defend the three, although who knows? I mean, they could go out and get a bunch of discount 3-point shooters that
Yeah.
don't do anything for pretty cheap. Get some of those classic white guys who just all they do is shoot threes but can't play defense or anything else.
That's all you need. Get a couple of those guys.
They just need a couple of those catch and shoot white guys.
Hey, they do. But hey, if that's all it takes to win, let's go. Let's go. Good for them. But I'm excited for the Suns and for the epic blow up of the Lakers. Going on to another basketball team now that is had some trouble, but hey, we're looking good. We're coming back. We're looking like a team. We got the U.S. men's basketball team for the Olympics. Tomorrow starts the quarterfinals, and we have Spain. Noah, what are your thoughts on this game? Why am I excited for the U.S. and why am I excited that we're going to win the gold again?
Yeah, well, I think we've got I don't want to say 100% figured out, but I think we've got a lot of our issues kind of resolved. Hopefully, given the last two games, the Spain game will be a really good prove it game. I know it's funny because we're like the 4 and 5 seed going into the quarterfinals. The U.S. and Spain are, but the number 1 and 2 ranked teams in the world. But Spain's father time is not exactly on Spain's side. They're pretty old,
yeah,
overall. So we'll see. Like I said, it'll be a good game to like truly see where we are. I don't know that we got a full grasp of that against Iran or the Czech Republic.
Mm-hmm.
Not very strong teams there, I would say, and then could potentially run into a pretty big challenge with Australia in the
True.
Semifinal if we beat Spain. We'll see.
Yeah, I can see that. Just taking a look at the opening lines on FanDuel, you got Spain at plus 560, USA minus 1,000. Spreads opening up at 11.5. Total 179.5 over under. You got minus 122, minus 108. And USA still minus 210 to win the gold medal. That's not bad odds right there on the gold. I might sprinkle that a little bit. But 11.5 points. I mean, we did pretty well last time we covered. What are your thoughts on these lines, Noah?
11.5 is pretty much where it should be. I mean, Spain's a good enough team. I don't know that we'll completely like go out and rout them, and we may not even win. I mean, I think we probably will, but this game's not a guarantee by any means. So, like I said, I think 11.5 is pretty good line. You said the over under is 179.
179 and a half. They're giving you that half. The over is minus 112. Under is minus 108.
Yeah, dude, I love the under on that. With the shorter quarters and the style of this Olympic basketball, it's more physical, it's tougher.
trade.
I like that under. I like that under 7 days a week, man.
Yeah, so hey, take that under at -108. Not bad odds. Go USA. Hopefully we can keep it going, bring home the gold. Um, Another big thing that happened this week, Friday, MLB Trade Deadline. My Cubbies decided to clean house, and I mean clean it just everywhere, bro. We got rid of so much. We got Javier Baez gone, Chris Bryant gone, Anthony Rizzo gone, a bunch of other guys that we traded away for a bunch of prospects. We're in a full rebuild. Um, what do you think, Noah? Why shouldn't I be as upset about the Cubs trading away everyone than I probably would be if I didn't think that we needed a rebuild?
Um, I don't know. I don't know how to tell you not to be upset about that one. As a fan, it's tough to watch, but they kind of need to do it. Like since they won the World Series, they've just been playing around with this, like keeping some of the pieces around and just being a mediocre team. And if you're not making playoffs, like you need to do something.
Mm.
And coming to the trade deadline when you're however many games back they are, like 10 games back or something like that. Like you kind of got two options: either go and spend more money and bring more players in to try to make a push, or you just dismantle it. I mean, you got these guys on like expensive contracts with only like a year or two left. And it's like, you just get something back in return that way. I just, it's interesting with baseball because you just see a lot of these prospects are just, flipped around from team to team to team to team until they finally can make it to the big leagues, if they can make it.
If they have that chance. Yeah, absolutely.
But
I mean, obviously the Cubs did the right thing getting rid of them, I believe. As you said, their contracts were coming up, and they obviously still have a lot to add to any team. Baez, Bryant, and Rizzo, all three of them hit home runs today for their first at bats this August 1st. It was unbelievable. So good on them. Hope they do well. Except Rizzo, I hope the Yankees suck forever. So that'd be fun. But good luck to everyone else. What else, Noah? What do you think was some big news coming out of the trade deadline? What are you excited about?
Man, we're gonna see out in I forget the the D-backs division with you got the
NL
Dodgers, the Giants, NL West. That's what I thought. I just wasn't 100% sure. But you got the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Padres all beefing up their rosters at the trade deadline. Are already probably three of the top 5 teams in baseball
easily.
And then and you got other teams who are in contention who made some moves, beefing up. Toronto made a couple trades. Tampa. The one that confuses me is the Yankees. Man, they're like,
what was that?
They're like 8-10 games back. I mean, they're going to need a real push to make the playoffs. And if they went out and just spent a bunch of extra money getting other guys and making trades and giving away prospects and they don't even make the playoffs, that's a big failure for management.
Yeah, that's
a bad look.
Yeah, that management's got to be on the hot seat. I mean, New York is one of those markets that you got to win. Especially the Yankees, man. They have all they do is win championships, and it's been a couple years since they've won one. I wouldn't be surprised if soon some front office heads roll and it's not a manager or a GM.
Yeah, maybe. But I will say that the Dodgers, man, that trade getting Scherzer and Trey Turner.
Dude, okay, why don't we just give them the trophy already?
I kind of get tired.
This is kind of like Tom Brady and the Patriots. They're just going to buy everything, or no, they're just going to win. That's simple, and good for them. Can't wait for them to celebrate. I love being in their division, but Jesus, dude, this is getting unbearable.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the zero salary cap that baseball has, and that's part of it because you get like the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers. They're just going out and spending as much money as they fucking want because it doesn't even matter.
No, it doesn't. And
it's like they want somebody, they just go out and pay for them.
Yeah, and I mean, with baseball especially, you see that like you get a couple of the budget teams, a couple of the Moneyball teams that can get put together and they can go far. They can win a World Series, they can win a pennant or something. But today's day and age where they're just throwing around a couple $100 million contracts for 10 years and stuff, like you got to be able to pay. And that's why the Diamondbacks are going to suffer for the next however many years. Our owner doesn't want to pay. And this division is so rich right now. Just they can buy whoever they want. The Padres went out and just got a bunch of people. The Giants just got Chris Bryant. Like every team can do whatever they want to do, except the Rockies. I don't know what's going on with them. But the Diamondbacks need to spend money. The Rockies need to spend money. If you want to win baseball games, you got to spend money, or get Billy Bean back in the building and run some real money ball.
Yeah, but like my problem with that, with like the whole like Moneyball thing, like that's great and all. Like Billy Bean did a great job at building an organization to win regular season games.
True.
What have they done in
True.
the playoffs?
True. I'll give you
Because
that.
once you get to the playoffs and you're playing, 5, 7 game series against the same team who's a really good team,
Yeah,
you gotta have superstars. You
absolutely.
can't just you can't moneyball your way to a championship. You can have a
He
great
did though.
regular season, but
Billy Bean
eventually,
did with the Red Sox.
no,
I'll
they
say
didn't
it was
win,
seven.
man.
Yeah, he won the whole
Oh,
thing.
well, that's because he had money with the Red
He
Sox.
did. He did have
He
money,
had no
but
money with Oakland.
he still used the same system. I mean, why wouldn't you use it? Even if you're a billionaire, if I'm a GM and I can come to you and say, hey, I can save you a couple $100 million, that billionaire is going to be like, yeah, cool. Let's run that system. Let's do it, dude. I just want to win a championship too. So you just got to spend enough
When
money.
have you seen
And yeah,
when have you seen the Red Sox saving money? You don't save money when you don't need to. You just spend. You spend, you spend, you spend, and then sometimes you win. And then it's worth
fair.
all that spending because you won.
So
But
let me,
there's only a handful, 8, 10 teams in the league maybe that are capable of doing all that spending, which is why it's just sick and tired of like it just makes me sick, like seeing that trade, like some of these trades, like the Dodgers just go out and get whoever the hell they want, and it's like, yeah, man, might as well just have a 10-team league. Like, who
yeah,
cares?
have the rest of them be minors, have the rest of them be AAA ball. Like honestly, until the owner wants to throw money
Seriously.
in, and that's the other thing I don't get. Like the owners and everyone make a lot of money from ticket sales, from merch and from food and all of that stuff. And it helps to have a good team to put butts in seats. Like if these people want to make money, you got
Yeah.
to spend the money to go get these guys, because I would go to a lot more DVAC games if they were half decent, but I don't want to go see 5 errors a night and get them run up 11 runs by the 6th inning. That's not an enjoyable night in my book. I don't give a shit how cheap the beer is or whatever. Like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to spend the $20 that the ticket cost to go and watch them lose 11-0 in the 6th inning. And I will. I
Yeah.
will. I will keep going because it's baseball and I love baseball, but they need to figure it out, damn it.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It's not going to change, not anytime soon, at least. But I just, yeah, the not having any salary cap that's why you got the same teams in contention every single year,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
they can spend money.
I will say the NFL division this year. I think basketball has an issue with giving the players so much power, and the stars can just kind of go wherever they want, whenever they want, by buying out their contract and stuff. Um, However, I think the NFL has it figured out. I think the players still need to get paid more, but I think they have it figured out, and the contracts are tight enough. They're going to be with that team for a while unless they make a fuss. You don't really have a risk of a super team. The Buccaneers, the Chiefs, but those took years and years to build. It wasn't just one season you got a super team. You know what I mean? It was a lot more planning and development. And I think that's one thing that makes football much more interesting than a baseball, a whatever in that case.
Yeah. I mean, you also got like, way more guys on the field in individual positions that you can't really like you can't just go like put together some superstar big three and then just be one of the best teams. Like you could go get the best player at three different positions, but you're still going to struggle if you don't have pieces around them in football.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Do you have anything else on baseball? Anything else on the deadline? Any bets you're liking for playmaking the playoffs or anything like that?
As of now, I don't know, man.
Yeah, we
But
still got a little while to
I will
go.
say, yeah, I will say I will be watching some of the Olympic baseball.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Um, I know that I think just started the baseball tournament or whatever.
Yeah, and I want to say
Uh,
U.S. plays Monday against Japan. Not 100% sure on that.
yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't think the U.S. is gonna fare too well.
No,
I mean,
these
it's all
international
like,
teams, they might walk us, dude. They just might murder us. And
yeah,
that's not a slam against the U.S. Olympic team. Those are some talented guys that are playing some good ball. But these international teams are so much more tight knit. They play with each other a lot more. And I understand that baseball is looked at as more of an individual sport because it is just you in the batter's box. It's you at your position throwing the ball to first base and all that stuff. But at the same time, if you're not together as a team, that can ruin it. And I'm not saying that they won't be together, but I'm saying that the chemistry for these other teams is going to be so solid, it might be detrimental to US in the future.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get that. Like, it's definitely gonna be more of a challenge not having any of these guys have really played together. Looks
Absolutely.
like we beat South Korea in our first game 4-2.
Hey, that's good. There we go. South
Um,
Korea is good at baseball. So, hey, go boys. Keep
yeah,
it
I
going.
mean, well, the other thing that was like, our Olympic team is mostly, I think, AAA players, so it's minor league players.
Mhm.
But like all these other countries are also going to be sending like a lot of like minor league or like developing players because all these guys in the MLB, there's no, you know, unlike the NHL, which takes a 2 week Olympic break.
Mhm.
They don't do that in baseball. So nobody on a major league contract is there from any country of any origin. So
Which
that's
I
something they
think is
should
so
do. That's kind of stupid.
detrimental.
They should pull a page out of the NHL's book there and
Yeah.
take an Olympic hiatus there. And
Oh, taking a limp, bro. Give me you, Darvish, back on the mound, and like for Japan, let's go. Let's run that back. Let me get Trevor Bauer on the mound for us. Let me get Kershaw on the mound from us, and just
well,
carve up these international batters. Let's go, MLB. I need this 2 week break. Our season is so long already. It doesn't matter if we push it back another 2 weeks. MLB, give me a summer break for the Olympics so I can see these boys do what they do the best for our country. I'm all about that, Noah. Great effing idea. I love it.
yeah, I don't know about Trevor Bauer right now per
Oh yeah,
se,
fair enough.
but
My bad, my bad, my bad. Whatever's happening there, we hope it's handled. We hope justice is served either way. Forgot about that for a second. I got really excited about seeing some MLB guys on the mound in the Olympics.
yeah, man, Olympic baseball with MLB players, and oh god, that would just be so competitive too. I mean,
So competitive. So competitive, dude. It
I
would
mean,
make it watchable.
you'd have a full team of basically, MLB All Stars from, the United States, Mexico, the Dominican Republic, like,
Oh, Japan, South Korea,
Japan,
Cuba,
Korea.
Puerto Rico. Let's just keep naming all the
Yeah,
countries. That would be so good. And then it would make it watchable. Honest to God, that would put baseball back on the map. If the US, if all of the teams sent it like a really good team, like that would put baseball right on the map, right back. And then we're back to being
that's what
America's
I'm
number
saying.
one,
Like,
baby.
there's at least like 8 countries maybe that you could put together like a legitimate like MLB roster,
Oh, yeah,
like a competitive MLB team out of just like 8 different countries, probably maybe
absolutely.
more. I don't know.
And if you think about it, Olympic basketball, you have like, yeah, a bunch of these countries are in, but it's really these 8 teams that are going to make it to the bracket, and everyone kind of knows that, and that would kind of become the same thing with baseball. But I think that'd be great. I think that'd be great for baseball. I think that baseball, the MLB, everyone would benefit not only monetarily, but just publicity and everything. But unfortunately, we got the moron Rob Manfred as our commissioner, who probably couldn't tell his left from right foot if the shoes were the same. You know what I mean? Like this guy's a stooge. He can't do anything right, and so he sure as hell won't make that decision.
Yeah, unfortunately, because that would be fun to watch.
Yeah, would be a lot of fun. Damn. Well,
Yeah.
Rob Manfred,
Well, we
if
can
you're
keep
listening,
we
please.
can keep dreaming.
We can just give them this idea. Rob, you can even take that idea as yourself. You can go to the board and say, "This is my idea. This is a great idea." Go ahead, do it. I just want to see some good baseball. All right. So that got me really excited. Now I want to talk about something that I got even more excited for. Bro, what was Aaron Rodgers doing? First of all, why would the Packers give him a microphone for 30 minutes? Why? Why? Like, I get it. Like, you're in such hot water already. Like, let the man speak. But dude, he's gone. This is the last dance. He's not coming back. I don't give a shit if they win a Super Bowl. I don't care if he wins MVP, Super Bowl MVP. He ain't coming back, dude. He ain't coming back. He is so done with them. But as a Packers owner, as someone who has direct ties to the front office, Noah, what do you think of this?
It feels a lot like if you put like your 2 weeks in for a job and then you can do whatever the fuck you want because you're like, well, what are you gonna do? Fire me?
Yeah,
that's kind of what it felt like.
Or trade him,
he's like,
and he wants that.
He's like, he's like, I got what I want, so let me just sit here and drag the organization for 30 minutes.
Dude, and it wasn't even like I'm upset with them. It was like, I'm upset with them, and this is why you all should agree with me. And I don't know anyone who listened to Aaron Rodgers talk and it's not like, yeah, dude, that sucks. You're totally in the right for this. Like, the Packers don't look good whatsoever, and I don't think that would ever make a player want to go to the Packers after seeing how Rodgers has been treated. If I'm Jordan Love, I'm petrified with how the hell they're going to treat me, because I'm telling you, man, they did the same thing with Favre. They've done the same thing with a bunch of people that Rodgers named, and so I think that
I'm gonna stop you right there, man. This is not the same as what with Favre. Favre did that to himself. That was
fair.
Not the Packers doing. Because we had Aaron Rodgers. He had been sitting on the bench for whatever, and then Favre kept going. Oh, I'm going to retire. Oh no, I don't want to retire. Oh, I'm going to retire. And then the Packers were just like, look, dude, give us a final answer, or we're just going to trade you. And he couldn't make up his mind, so they just traded him to the Jets.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll give you that. Don't get me wrong. The Favre situation was a little bit different. But Aaron Rodgers did have many examples. I don't have the list in front of me right now, but he had many examples of the front office treating players like shit. And don't get me wrong, I bet this happens with every NFL organization. Just like with any company, not everyone is going to be happy to work there. Shit, there's probably people there that aren't happy to be there. See Aaron Rodgers, see Devontae Adams. But I just that's not good to air your business like that. Like, it's not good for the Packers, because people are going to be thinking about, I want a free agent. Do I want to go to the Packers where the front office is kind of shitty to people and everything? Or do I want to go down to Tampa where they're having a great time? Bruce Arians is like, yeah, you don't want to practice? Fuck it. You've been in the league for 15 years, whatever. But, I think it's going to be that type of a decision in the future that hurts the Packers.
That's because BA doesn't know how to coach, man. He's terrible.
Yeah, you don't like BA. Why not? BA, he just won a Super Bowl with a quarterback in a brand new system with the COVID protocol, blah, 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 blah.
Because he's not doing anything.
Well,
and so he looks good.
He doesn't need to do anything. If I didn't need to do anything at my job and everything was going great, I would let them do whatever the fuck they wanted to. If it makes me look good. Yeah, it gets me a Super Bowl ring.
But that doesn't make you a good manager. It just means your employees are good enough that you don't need to do anything.
Yeah, semantics.
So it makes you look good. It doesn't make you a good manager, though.
Fair.
Just like just like Tampa this past season makes BA look good. It doesn't make him a good coach.
He did good with the Cardinals when he was here. He did pretty good with the Cardinals. We moderate success. I won't say he was.
And made how many playoff wins?
No, it was dark times. We had Skelton and DA, and I was on the Skelton bandwagon too. That was embarrassing. I was like, John Skelton, he is the answer. For those of you who don't know, he was drafted by the Cardinals and was supposed to be the next big superstar. And he, yeah, well, I don't think he plays in the league anymore. So that's how his career went. Anyway, really quick, back to the Packers before we continue on with other teams, because there are other teams in the NFL, but this Packers season is going to be so interesting with everything going on. And then they bring in Randall Cobb. Now, this is about 7 years too late, in my opinion. I mean, Randall Cobb's not too bad, but let's be real. The Texans wanted to get rid of that contract. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. That was different deal. But Randall Cobb, back to the Packers. What do you think, man? Are you excited about this as a Packers fan? Do you think this is just a move to make Rodgers happy? Do you think he'll actually produce like he did back in the day? Or what do you think we're going to see here?
I don't know that he's going to have a ton of production. He's had trouble the last few years staying healthy, but it's fine. I don't really care because if it makes Rodgers a little bit more happy, that's good. He's got veteran leadership, which will be nice with some younger receivers. And we only gave up a 6th-round pick for him, and Houston's paying almost half of his contract. So
True.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because we didn't really, the cost is so low that if it doesn't work out, it's not like it really matters.
No, not at all.
And if he does produce, then we got away with a highway robbery. So
yeah, if he does produce, and I mean, it's not like you don't have another slot. You got you drafted some kid from Clemson or LSU, I think.
Amari Rodgers.
Yeah, he was a stud. He's a stud, dude. He's gonna have some big catches from Rodgers this year, and then he's gonna be really sad when Rodgers goes away.
Rodgers, baby.
It'll be great, dude. I'm excited for the Packers season. I'm excited, honestly, more for the just breakdown of this organization as a Bears fan, especially. I like seeing all the turmoil. I like seeing that Gutekunst doesn't really have a good hold of anything. And I'm excited to see how Rodgers conducts himself this year and to see how he sets himself up for being traded next season. Now, another quarterback.
We will see.
Yeah, we will. Anything else on that real quick?
No.
All right. Well, let's move to another quarterback I'm very interested in. Carson Wentz went down Thursday, I believe, with a left foot or right foot injury. Obviously, it was one of the 2 feet, but did not practice the rest of the week.
Are you sure it wasn't his center foot?
It might have been. You never know. I have heard, I think that like invisible center foot for his extra balance, get some extra torque on that ball, but I don't know. I'm no doctor. It was one of his feet, one of 3 apparently. But as a Colts fan, I might be a little bit concerned because this is a new system. Don't get me wrong. He's back with Frank Wright and everything, so he's going to be comfortable. He's going to kind of understand what he's going with. But still missing time, first season with a team. Do you think this is a big deal in the long run, or do you think this is just a precaution?
I think the Colts should have known what they were getting, and the fact that Carson Wentz can't stay healthy for a goddamn season, which annoys me because I just want to be proven right about the fact that Carson Wentz is a bust, but not in the way that he can't stay healthy and just injuries derail his career. I want him to have poor performance while healthy.
Wow.
But we'll probably never know because he's never going to play a full season.
Bro, he's going to be fine. He's fine.
This dude's bones are made of glass. I swear to God.
Oh, dude, no.
He got injured in practice. How?
Hey, fair enough. I had a season-ender injury freshman year playing football in practice, so it can happen.
No, I know it can happen. I'm just saying, of course, Carson Wentz gets injured before the season even starts in practice.
Yes, that is very telling. I don't think this is that big of a deal. I really don't. I mean, he's going to take a couple days off, just make sure there's nothing big or anything, and he's going to go back to throwing dimes. Him and Ty are about to have a huge year. Honest to God, if you're looking at fantasy, you take Ty and you can probably get him in later rounds, because I bet you all these quote unquote experts and stuff don't have him making a lot of points because he does have Carson Wentz as a quarterback. I think Carson Wentz is going to be comfortable. I think he's going to be back in a good system. I think this is a minor setback. They just don't want to push anything. But Carson Wentz will go. He's a tough guy. If he gets hurt midseason and he can play through it, he will play through it. And I'm really excited to see what this Colts offense is going to do, because that defense last year was humming, bro. That defense was ready to go and ready to make a run. And they made a pretty decent run until it ended, of course. But I think Carson Wentz might be that missing puzzle piece. And here we go, baby. Colts on top.
I'll take the under on how many games he plays this season.
Over, really? Okay. Where would you take that at? Let's say that line's at 9. Does he play 9 games?
I don't know, but I'll tell you, he's probably missing at least 5.
5. Okay, so 17 game season. I'll give you 8. Do you think he plays over under 8?
See, I wouldn't take it at 8 though, because like I don't know, that's half the season. Do I think he's gonna miss half the season? Probably not. Could he easily? Yeah, I mean,
God, let's hope not.
Probably it'll be like week 5 and he'll have like a season-ending injury, and then it's like, oh well, now you gotta wait for next year.
Well, I really hope not. All the best to Carson Wentz. I hope this is a minor injury. I hope you're back throwing dimes, because I think you're gonna win. I think you're gonna do a lot.
He was healthy. He was healthy. What, all of last season? What, he did lead the league in interceptions and turnovers?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, he did have a dog shit offensive line in front of him in Philly.
That O-line was rough. That whole Eagles team was rough, dude.
But Russell Wilson had a terrible offensive line, and he still managed to put up halfway decent numbers.
Yeah, but again, we're talking about Carson Wentz and Russell Wilson, 2 different quarterbacks, 2 completely different levels. You know, I'm not saying that
because Wilson's good and belongs in the NFL, but Carson Wentz should be riding the bench.
Yeah, we'll see. I think this is his last chance. I think this is his last chance for a starting job. After everything with the Eagles and stuff, I think this is really his last chance. He might get another opportunity from a team like, let's say, the Titans end up doing bad this year at quarterback. Who knows? The Texans might even take a whack at him if the Colts release him. But hey, man, I think he'll do well. We'll see, though. Anything else on the Colts or anything before we move to another very interesting division in the NFL?
No, just reiterating that Wentz sucks.
Fair enough. We will see about that. So let's go deep dive into a division. Last time we did the NFC North. We have the Packers winning that division pretty handsomely, pretty easily, especially with Rodgers coming back. Let's talk about the worst division in the NFL. Let's talk about the NFC East, or as we like to call it, and everyone likes to call it, the NFC least. Washington football team. You have our boy Fitzmagic under center. Nothing else really interesting going on over offseason. What do you think, Noah? Washington football team.
Well, first off, I think you mean NFC Beast.
Beast, really?
But
Beast.
But yeah, no, I think Washington they'll be one of the 2 teams in contention for this division between them and the Cowboys. I think whoever wins this division, probably at like 10, 11 wins, I think will be enough to get the division. I do think Washington's going to be an interesting team. I think that defense is going to carry them, and it'll help to have Fitzmagic under center. The only problem is when Fitzmagics like he does every season, he'll have 3 or 4 like really good games, and then he'll just have a stretch where he plays like dog shit, and then he gets benched.
Yeah.
And then like the other quarterback either gets injured or they start playing terribly, someone comes back in, has another like couple of good games, and then starts playing bad again. You know, I look at who's the next quarterback in line. and it's Taylor Heineke, which makes me nervous.
Whoa.
Because if Fitzmagic doesn't have a Pro Bowl type season, they're going to lose some games at the hands of quarterback play.
All right, pump your brakes real quick. Do we need to remind you what happened with Taylor Heineke in the playoffs last season? He almost beat Tampa.
Yeah, but he lost.
He did lose, but he almost beat Tampa. That's all I'm saying. Like, that's not a bad backup.
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Fair enough. But still telling that he can perform against a Super Bowl winning caliber team, I think it's not the worst situation to have your backup. I like Fitzmagic. I like it when he Fitzmagics. But you're right. I think it's going to be rough for him to perform all season. He has been in the league for so long now and played for so many different teams. I think it'll be nice for him to know that he's the starter going into the season and that there is no real pressure of a backup coming in. They just kind of have Heineke there. I think they're going to ride or die with him this season.
He's just there. He's just chilling out.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking at their schedule, they've got some rough patches. Like they have the Falcons, Saints, Chiefs, Packers, all back to back. That is going to be a rough 5-week stretch because they have the Bills the week before. That is going to be a rough stretch. I don't know if they come out with a win in those 5 weeks. I think a lot of their victories are going to come out of divisional play.
Oh, they'll beat the Falcons.
Sorry?
Oh, they'll beat the Falcons.
You think so?
I guarantee it. Not guarantee. I almost guarantee. Close to guarantee. How do you get as close as you can get to guarantee?
As close as you can get. All right. So you would talk about it, but you wouldn't put money on it.
At this point, yeah. I mean, if it comes to like week of, I mean, I got to know the scenario. Like all of a sudden, like Washington's got like 5 key players injured, then that changes things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that offense, I mean, I don't really know a lot about them. I remember watching a couple games last season, and they had those moments where it's like, damn, they look good. They could do something here. They didn't really have a quarterback that was good for throwing. They were good pocket passers and stuff, but they were mostly, scramble and make a play, which is good. But I think in that offense, a Fitzmagic pocket guy, gunslinger is really going to fit well. And I think you're going to see some good production out of the receivers. And yeah, make a run. They are my pick for the division. I think they'll win it. I think they'll probably go 10-7, maybe 11-6 if they can squeak out a couple of those harder wins against the Chiefs and the Packers and everyone. But it'll definitely be a good season for them. Any other thoughts on the football team?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they'll have I think they'll come close to a division sweep is what I'm thinking, which will help. I see them going maybe like 5-1 in the division, not playing super hot outside the division. And then I've got them. I like them at 10-7. That would be my prediction.
Respectable. I can see that.
I'll have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be a good team. They're going to win the division, especially when we talk about these other teams. I mean, as lackluster as the football team is, these other teams are about as lackluster as it gets until we get to one interesting team ran by an interesting man who honestly might be a Bond villain. But we'll get to Jerry later. Let's talk about the New York Giants. We got a new coach. You got Danny Dimes. Saquon Barkley's back. They'll do okay. I'm not it's hard to get excited about anything that the Giants are doing. Not a big fan of how they play defense. I'm not a big fan of how they play on offense. Just not a big fan of how they play football. Yeah, I really don't have a lot about to say them. They're not on top of my list to break any records. If I can stay away from as many betting opportunities where they're favorited, I would like that. But yeah, not a lot here. What do you think?
It'll help a lot to have Saquon back.
Yeah,
that's for sure. Their defense should be pretty decent, actually. I would look for them to be right teetering the edge of the top 10, either barely in or barely out. So that'll help. But, Daniel Jones, this is the prove it year for him, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is year 3,
this is
right?
His prove it year.
Year 3, 4?
Yeah, I want to say 4, but it might be 3.
When did he join the league?
I mean, he's done nothing so far other than turn the ball over. He's got a real fumbling issue. And then he's I will give him credit where credit is due. The man is fast. Yeah. He's sneaky athletic, as they love to say, when he's not tripping over yard lines. Because I think what did I see? He clocked on that like 80-yard run or whatever. He clocked a higher top speed than I think Russell Wilson had all of last season or something like that.
Hey, so. He is sneaky fast. That's one thing that I think would be an interesting bet. I was listening to the Pat McAfee show as I listened to, and they were talking about Daniel Jones yards rushing over per game. They think that, and I agree with them. I think he's going to scramble. I think he's going to run for those yards. He's going to get those yards. And I think that bet would hit a lot more than it doesn't hit. I think he's one of the more reliable guys. That offensive line is still not the best. It's kind of weak in my opinion. And so he's going to have to scramble. He's going to have to make plays on his feet and lower his head and get hit, unfortunately, and hopefully not die.
Yeah, they did bring in some extra help too at receiver. So, like I said, this has got to be a prove it year for him. I think if he has another bad year this year with improved help around him, I think that'll be his last time starting in the NFL.
Definitely. And looking at their schedule, I mean, they open up. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say Eli Manning 2.0 might not be working as well as the Giants wanted to. I mean, they literally went out and got as close to Eli as possible. He even looks like Eli Manning.
It's scary, dude. It looks like it's Eli's clone playing quarterback. It's like, holy shit, what year is it, man? It's unbelievable. But looking at their schedule, they open up against the Broncos. That's an easy win. The Broncos are a mess of an organization. The Washington game will be interesting, but they'll probably lose to Washington. They have the Falcons, the Saints, the Cowboys, and the Rams after that. And then it gets a little bit easier with the Panthers. But I really don't see them winning a lot of games. I see them maybe going 7-11. Yeah, I would go 7-11 on this. I think they'll win some games. I think they'll get lucky in some games. They're a team that'll win the games that they're supposed to win, and they're a team that's going to lose the game that they're supposed to lose. But they'll probably lose a couple of those games that they're going to win. So yeah, I'm going to go with 6-12 actually.
Yeah, their one saving grace is their strength of schedule is pretty weak. But I don't think that's going to be enough for them to make a playoff push.
No.
I see them as like one of those teams where they'll beat all the bottom tier teams on their schedule. They'll have a chance against all of the like decent around 500 teams, but when they're just not going to be. They're not winning any of these games against like the Chiefs or like the Rams or any of those teams. I don't think they have the firepower to compete with that.
No, they don't.
So, like I said, because of their strength of schedule, though, I like them right at around 6.5 wins. I'm taking a half because I can't make my mind up.
I'll give you the half. I'll give you the 6.5. That's a good bet. I'd still take the under. I don't think they're winning more than 6 games, and I think it's a lot asking them to win those 6 games. Let's talk about
6.5. Here's my record for them. They're going to go 6-10-1. They're going to have a tie. I don't know who, but they're going to tie somebody.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can see that. Happening.
That's what I'm going with.
All right.
Somebody owes me a lot of money if the Giants tie a game this season.
We'll call up Vegas and FanDuel and see what we can get done. So another team I'm not excited for whatsoever, but they're a team in the NFC East, the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles. Weird season last year. I'm not even going to try to talk about what happened last season with the quarterback situation and everything. Jalen Ramsey, though, coming in, This is going to be his first official year as the starter. Um, is he
Jalen
ready?
Hurts.
Is that Hurts? Sorry. Is he ready? Is he going to be able to play? Is he going to be able to start? And is this team going to be able to win any games?
No, he's not ready. He got thrown in like the second to last game last season, rookie quarterback in a mess of an offense, then a like mess of a system. So it's not his fault. I
No.
mean, he showed some promise. He played really well in the game and a half that he was in. But man, the Eagles have a lot of issues with their roster and beyond. And man, this team's they're gonna struggle to win more than like 5 games this season.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna be. My guess is they'll be like. I just even looking at the rest of the teams in the division, like I'd probably take them every game. I think maybe they find a way to steal one from the Giants.
Yeah.
Go
They
like
could
1-5 in the division, and then
yeah.
but yeah, looking at their schedule, I don't know that there's like any team on here that I really like their chances. I mean, I'm sure they'll steal a couple of games, but I think they beat the Lions, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know about that one. But
I mean, they'll have a chance against the Panthers, the Lions, probably the Broncos.
yeah, maybe against some division, they win some
Maybe
divisional games.
the Jets potentially.
Yeah, that's just a tough. They're a bad team playing against a bunch of really good teams in a shitty division. 4-13. I'm like they're not going to do well this season. They're going to get a good draft pick. They're going to be able to start rebuilding and get Jalen Hurts some help. But
yeah. The weird thing, their schedule, 5 out of their last 6 games are divisional games. Which even if they're having a crap season, the door might be open just a crack at the end where they can see a glimmer of light, to just enough of a glimmer of light. They have a 2% chance at making the playoffs, and so they won't tank because they're going to be like, well, we could. They're like, we could, and it's still not going to be enough.
No. Dude, it's not even close, dude.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, though, and I'm going to say they find a way to win 5 games.
Wow. So 5-12?
Yeah.
Wow, that's ballsy, dude. That's ballsy. This team is a mess. This team is more poorly managed than my first fantasy team was managed, and I had no idea what the hell I was doing. So, wow.
Yeah, well, the Bears found a way to almost go 500 last season. So
don't. Okay, we talked about the Bears last time. We talked about them. We're not going to talk about them again for a while because that's upsetting.
They're one of my favorite things to do, though.
Yeah, whatever, Noah. I can't wait until the Packers throw all of this away when Aaron Rodgers leaves. Anyway, yeah, they're going to stink. The Giants are done. I mean, the Eagles. Sorry, Eagles are done. Let's talk about a team that everyone is excited for except me. I don't think you're that excited about it, but I think you're more optimistic about it than I am. Jerry Jones and his Dallas Cowboys. Them boys are still them boys. I don't care that Dak got signed. He got signed to a lot of money for a lot of time. Overpaid. Way overpaid. Ezekiel Elliott. He had one good season. He is overpaid, overhyped. He's done. He's dead. He can't produce like he used to. Amari Cooper. He's good. He's a good player. CeeDee Lamb, he's good. Great player. But you need a quarterback that can throw the ball. He already has tightness in his shoulder, and he is in 1 week into training camp. Dude, Dak ain't lasting a season. You want to talk about getting injured? I don't think Dak, after this whole ankle thing, is going to be the same. I think we're going to see a different Dak, a more conservative Dak. And with this shoulder issue right now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I could be blowing that out of proportion, but quarterbacks they need their shoulder, obviously, to throw the ball. And so if he's having issues throughout the season, we're going to see some Dak not playing so well, Dak missing a pass, Dak missing some games. I think they're stink. I think they're going to stink. They didn't do anything to help their defense. They suck. What do you think of the Cowboys?
I like him to win the division, not by a lot. I really do feel like it's pretty close to a toss up between them and Washington. But if I had to pick, I'm picking Cowboys.
Wow.
I don't think they're going to be great. I think they'll also be right around 10-7 like Washington. I wouldn't be surprised to finish with like the same record, but then Dallas just has like tiebreaker or something over him. But you're talking about, I know you mentioned Zeke having a terrible year. That's not his fault. Keep in mind, they have Mike McCarthy as their coach now.
Fair.
The dude is literally, he's literally allergic to running the ball.
Yeah.
It's the running game doesn't get going in the first quarter, and I lived through this for years as a Packers fan. And then he just starts passing the ball on first, second, and third down. Becomes super predictable. It's a lot easier to play defense when you only got to rush 4 people every down because you're not like worried about the run game. Put in a different package, more DBs, smaller, quicker defense, and you shut it down. And I do think you're not giving Dak enough credit. I think he's going to make a huge difference.
I think he'll make a difference. He will make a difference. They will not be nearly as bad as they were last year. He will not be as big of a difference as people think that he will be. I don't think that he is worth this money. I don't think that he is of that level of a Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers or anyone like that. I don't know what the hell Jerry Jones was thinking, but he signed him. His money, he can do whatever the hell he wants, but I didn't like that signing. I don't like Dak in that system, especially with Mike McCarthy. Dak needs help. He needs to be able to run the ball. He needs to be able to get that play action going so he can get that long ball. But yeah, here we are with a coach that hates running the ball, with a middle of the tier running back, and a couple guys that can catch the ball, and no defense whatsoever. They are not going to stop anyone. They're not. They might lose to the Broncos. Do they play the Broncos this year? They might lose to the Broncos.
Yeah, I think that whole division plays.
Yeah, they play the Broncos. Yeah, they play that division. Yeah, I mean, and looking at their schedule, like they'll win some of these games against the Eagles, the Panthers, the Giants, I think. But then, yeah, dude, I don't really see a lot of games that they win, and I think that opening up against Buccaneers is so rough. That's going to be rough mentally going into your first game against the Super Bowl champions who have that entire team back, and you're coming off of a broken ankle and are expected to beat Tom Brady and the Gronkaneers. 8-11. No, I'm sorry. 8-9. That's my record. They go 8-9. They miss the playoffs. They might get a wild card spot depending on how bad the other teams are, but 8-9.
Yeah, I like them at, looking at their schedule here, it certainly helped not finishing as strong last season because schedule's coming in a little bit weaker than Washington's got it.
Yep.
Which I think just that small difference in strength of schedule will be enough for the Cowboys to win one more game than Washington does. So I like them at 11-6.
That's a lot of games, dude. 11 games. With Dak Prescott and that defense. Bro, that defense couldn't stop a fucking toddler from crawling into the end zone. Like, I don't know what you expect them to do against fucking grown men.
Because they buffed them up. They're still going to be trash, but they're going to be less trash than they were last year. I mean, it's pretty hard to go any, get any worse. But I think they used, if I'm not mistaken, every single one of their draft picks on defensive players.
I do believe they did, yeah. So that's helpful, but rookies, I mean, you're still learning how to play that game.
But who cares, man?
It's a completely different game.
That's not the Mike McCarthy style, man. It's get an absolute gunslinger in there and then just throw the ball every down and don't play defense. it's good enough to win like 11, 12 games usually in the regular season and then get bounced from the playoffs.
Yeah, hey. I mean, I guess if I'm Jerry Jones, and I love money. I mean, he got them all the money for they're playing Thanksgiving every year. They're opening this year. I'm sure they're playing Christmas too. They get all of the games, like these big national
Hard
time
Knocks
games.
too.
Yeah, and Hard Knocks this year. Um, it would be nice for him to go to a playoff game every once in a while, though, because yeah, the Cowboys are probably the biggest team in the world. Like if you say NFL football, you probably think Cowboys, and good on him. Um, but imagine how much more money he would make if he made the playoffs. I think we talk about this all the time. Imagine how much more money all of these teams would make if their teams were somewhat good. The NFL is different, and there are so few games. And if you love the NFL, you're going to go to a game regardless, or you're going to watch it on TV because it's for such a short window. Um, but dude, they're just leaving so much money on the table being bad. Like if they were good and they had this name recognition, bro, it'd be game over. Jerry Jones would have 7 of those super yachts that he has, but here he is, the subpar team going
I
8
don't
and
know.
9.
I gotta say the world just it's a good place. It just feels right when the Cowboys are just good enough to make the playoffs and then lose in the first round. I don't know why. I get so much joy out of that. It's
Yeah,
like there's like different things for different teams, and like some teams I want to see them lose all the time. The Cowboys are one of those teams. Same thing with the Vikings for whatever reason. I'm like, please just like make it to the wild card round and then lose on some stupid shit. It brings me so much joy. Just I think the reason it brings me joy is because these fans have hope and it's right there, and then it's just ripped away from them, and then it's just sheer and utter disappointment.
yeah. As a someone who watched the Bears go 5-0 last year, I can speak to that. You hate seeing the hope because you really do think you have a team that year, and then you don't whatsoever, and you're
But yeah,
watching
it
the rest
just
of the playoffs out of team.
like I said, it just feels right for the Cowboys to make the playoffs, be slightly over 500, or or back to the Romo days when they would just go 8-8 every single season. That was pretty funny. It was
Dude, that was
like
impressive.
life.
That was impressive that he
It
went
was like
8-8 for so long.
death taxes and the Cowboys going 8-8.
Death taxes. Cowboys going 8-8. Put that on a shirt. Love that. Um, so yeah, any other thoughts on the
Well,
Cowboys
can't
or the
anymore.
NFC East?
Um, I'm actually like kind of excited for some of those divisional matchup games. I'm not excited for any of those teams in particular, but some for whatever reason that division there's always some crazy shit going down in those games. And like somebody always like steals a game or two from like the other ones. I don't know how or why, but
Yeah,
and
that's a
I swear that division comes down to the last game of the season like every single year, and half the time both the games that are going on matter, you
yeah.
know, for like who's going to win the division. And I would not expect anything different out of this year. I think it'll come down to the very last week of the season in that division,
Yeah, it
and
does.
there's
It
going to
always
be all these
does.
like if and but scenarios,
Yeah, and that's when you got to break
and
the
we'll
big
see what
board out
happens.
and go through all the scenarios. And I can't wait to do that. We are 39 days away from football, the official start of the season. I couldn't be more excited about it. I know you can't be more excited about it. I know the Degens can't be more excited about it. Um, with that being said, Noah, you got anything else before we head out today?
Uh, I don't know. About to go probably watch some U.S. women's Olympic basketball just to feel better about myself and our country by watching them kick the shit out of somebody.
Yes, we love that.
But
Our women are amazing. All right.
yeah, hopefully the men can follow suit in the dominance and bring us home the gold.
Yes,
And
please. We need more
yeah,
gold. We need more gold. We don't have enough. We have the medals, but we need more gold. U.S. Olympics, you guys are doing amazing out there. Best of luck the rest of this week. We will be back Tuesday with another episode of Degenerate Takes, going over more Olympics, football, training camp, baseball, everything that you can think of. We will talk about it somehow. Please, again, like, share, and subscribe. It really does help us out. I've been AJ. This is Noah. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.